Acid Jaz, Michael for sliced chocolate off the ropes. Cody caught him in midair. Snake eyes. Oh, wow. Here we are, main event of Northland Professional Wrestling today, Saturday, July 31st, 2021, outside the American Legion in Lake in the Hills, Illinois. Two of the top contenders in all rankings as far as CSW, Chicago-style wrestling, and Northland go. Hot Chocolate Acid Jaz, Cody James, first time anywhere ever battle. Very intriguing matchup on paper. I wonder which one of these two will have the upper hand. The bell has sounded. We have action in our main event featured attraction. The fans definitely have the support behind Cody James here today. Hundreds of fans on hand to witness this huge clash. Ever since this match was announced, fans were excited to hear and see it. One half of the former tag team champions, Cody James, to meet Triple Crown winner, holder of every championship in the past in Chicago-style wrestling, heavyweight, metro, and tag team titles. One of the most decorated veterans ever in the Chicagoland scene, Acid Jaz. And Acid Jaz and Marche Rocket, their rivalry has been put on pause for Northland today. A new opponent for Acid Jaz. He has faced big men before. Cody James. Let's see if his height and his reach will be too much for Acid Jaz to handle. Jaz with an awesome win-loss record. Known for the weapon of Jaz destruction and sliced chocolate. But Cody James is one of the most talked about new heavyweight stars in the pro wrestling scene today and the lucha libre scene. A monster in terms of size, 6'5", 270 pounds, with excellent mobility in the ring. He can dominate a match. He can take over a match. He is a fan favorite in these parts. It is basically a home situation for this former tag team champion from CNC Destruction. His tag team partner, the career killer Chris Miller, not here today, on vacation, sent his cousin Metalhead to do damage earlier this afternoon. The fans giving Acid Jaz a whole earful of stuff on the far side. On the right, forget the test of strength. Cody James is way too tall with arms so long. And Acid Jaz has to force. Acid Jaz had to force that right hand down. And I think Acid Jaz is regretting the decision to try a collar and elbow tie-up, to try a Greco-Roman knuckle lock, to try any sort of test of strength against this towering fortress. We can definitely see the height advantage, the reach advantage. Jaz trying to back up in the corner, a veteran that knows every escape and every trick in the book. Jaz trying desperately to climb the ropes to stand at a taller, elevated low. And look at that, Jaz took over this Greco-Roman knuckle lock in his favor. Hands planted on the mat, and Jaz stepped down on both. Obviously, Cody James, his family and friends on hand, not happy about that. Jaz is a southpaw, is left-handed. Basically said on social media, if I shank him, the match is over, right? It's almost as though Acid Jaz wanted to take a shortcut just to get out of this match. Waist lock denied. There is no way Jaz is going to push this guy around. Cody James just gave a veal. A veal right there to Acid Jaz, sending him all the way across the ring, crashing into one of the turnbuckles on the far side. Acid Jaz beats to his own drum, a veteran with a killer instinct. This first time anywhere ever matchup, Jaz trying to show us some tricks of the trade, getting out of disaster out of the way, and trying to deliver some jabs in the corner. Jaz was trying to drag Cody James across the ring. However, James planted his feet. When you trunk your body like that at his height and stature, it's almost impossible to move him around the ring. Cody James opening up Acid Jaz with a knife-edge chop in the corner. Cody James continuing to use his strength as Jaz was trying to float over the top. But Cody James would not go for it, did not follow in, and hit an atomic drop. There's an inverted one. Jaz has been violated. Oh yeah! Cody James, like a runaway train, has just totally derailed Acid Jaz right on the mat. Not too many have dropped Acid Jaz like lightning that quickly, that effectively in any promotion, let alone Northland. A lot of conflicts in the past for Cody James against Steve Ahrendt, the Bruise Brothers. Obviously, Cody James has had problems with management in the past. As was mentioned prior to this matchup, and obviously Ahrendt allowing the floodgates to open, allowing Metalhead and the Turtle to join forces against the Bruise Brothers. And it looks to me as though Cody James is having some target practice at the hands of Acid Jaz, who took the face-first planting drop in the middle of the ring. Cody looking to finish off Jaz right here. But Jaz got his shoulder up in time. Cody James has that powerhouse style. He hits hard, he slams super hard. Known for choke slams, power bombs. Oh no! Cody James didn't know his own strength. He ran so fast into that corner, he nearly scratched himself up on that turnbuckle. Might have had his entire shirt ripped off. And here's Acid Jaz firing back with extremely hard, precise elbows. If it's not nailed down, Acid Jaz will use it as a weapon to try to hurt Cody James. Straight choke in front of the official, come on. Acid Jaz again, chopping Cody James on the outside of the ring. This is a traditional singles match. And look at this, Cody James is like a man possessed. He's on fire right now. Chopping and pounding Acid Jaz from head to toe. Cody James accidentally took the brunt of the abuse against the solid steel ring post on the far side. He might have hurt himself. And Cody James definitely has not been the same since he missed that corner attack on Acid Jaz earlier. Acid Jaz could score the win, but Cody James not at all knocked out to the point of no return. He will fight with every last breath in his body against any opponent, let alone Acid Jaz. Acid Jaz violating Cody James right now, raking the skin along the chest and the very sensitive manacle region. As Acid Jaz pounds on that left shoulder that did take the brunt of the abuse when Cody James ran out of control into the middle turnbuckle pad and the turnbuckle support, as well as the solid steel ring post. Jaz stands perched on the second rope in a seated position at the moment. Cody James in a lot of pain, but is he playing possum? That's another question. Jaz got caught in midair. Cody James was playing possum. Samoan drop with the release. Oh, Acid Jaz got the shoulder up in time. This match must continue. Cody James with a number of powerful offensive flurries can beat you at any moment. And much like Cypher earlier, it looks like Cody James gets bigger and better with every match. I would have to venture to say that this possibly is Cody James' biggest test in singles competition in Northland Pro Wrestling or in any other promotion he's been involved with thus far. Very tough challenge, a difficult test. Obviously, a win here would propel the career of Cody James inside of the squared circle anywhere and everywhere he would go from this point forward. But a victory is not guaranteed, especially against Acid Jaz, one of the top-tier champions ever in the history of CSW, Northland Wrestling, or any other promotion around these parts. Acid Jaz blatantly stomping on the hand, trying to break all the fingers and the tendons. What the heck? A sky-high spike slam, and Acid Jaz has been rocked. Ref Dev administering a count right now. Both individuals are sucking wind. As we mentioned before, we're outside in the elements. Very humid outside. The temperature is very hot. The ring has been soaking in sun ever since very, very early this afternoon, basically lunchtime, and inside of that ring, it's got to be easily 10, 15, 20 degrees hotter than it is in the surrounding region around ringside. Both men struggle back to their feet. Cody James trucks down Acid Jaz with a clothesline. Acid Jaz crying like a girl at this moment. Cody James being violated. Is doing the violating, rather, to Acid Jaz at the moment. Chopped and denied, Acid Jaz spin kick. That will stun the big man. Acid Jaz might go for sliced chocolate off the ropes. Cody caught him in midair. Snake eyes. Oh, wow. Putter shake big boot across the side of the head. This could be it. Oh, Acid Jaz again. How many lives does this guy have? When you think Acid Jaz is out for the count, he finds a magical escape. And Cody James was almost completely convinced that the victory was in hand. Very few have ever kicked out of that particular running attack. It's that vengeful and that forceful. And now it looks to me as though Cody James will try to continue to abuse Acid Jaz from pillar to post as often as conceivably possible. Cody James with Acid Jaz in a seated position on the top turnbuckle on the far side, trying to join him along those ropes. Dangerous position for both men. Cody James might look to drop Acid Jaz from a high elevated distance, but Acid Jaz pushed off. That could be it! Jaz caught Cody James in the bad shoulder and planted him jaw first on the mat. Oh, rope break in the nick of time. Cody James, thanks to the bottom rope and great vision and ring awareness, keeps himself alive in this main event featured presentation. Two of the top ranked performers in Northland Pro Wrestling and in all parts of the Midwest Pro Wrestling scene to go at it. The official did not notice that Acid Jaz just opened up some powder packets, and we might see some chocolate mist. What the heck? He spit chocolate powder and chocolate mist in the eyes of Ref Dev. Ref Dev is down. Jaz was trying to cheat to win. He did that on purpose. And Cody James is standing behind Acid Jaz. I don't think you want to squeeze back there. That's not a good idea. I think Acid Jaz just realized he's got a surprise behind him, and it's not his Christmas present. No roundhouse kicked in there. What's this? Oh my! That powerbomb took a half hour, but Cody could win it, but the ref's still down. Oh no, we got company here.
Get him!
What the heck is going on here? Ahrendt said, Cypher, go get him. Cypher has nothing to do with this. Revolutionary slam. Cody James has been squashed. All the air knocked out of him. Why did Ahrendt send this monster to do damage? He's not a part of this.
Who's that? What are you doing?
Cypher's got Cody by the throat. Sky high 8-foot choke slam. Much like the same one he used on Mario Kart Duo to win earlier. Cypher pulling Jazz's body on top. The official tried to use water to cleanse his eyes of the chocolate powder. Ref Devs, don't do this. He's starting to count. Oh, that's baloney. That should not be allowed. Acid Jaz has won this match.
Acid Jaz!
I'm red.
Acid Jaz with the hump of Cypher and put down Cody James, the perpetual fan favorite of Northland, here today. That's a tragedy. That's ridiculous. That's unfair. This crowd is not happy about that result.
We can make it on my heart when you don't start. You be doing wrong. I will get that.
Jaz don't look like a winner, but he actually got his hand raised at the end.
Cody. I told you there was no way in hell you could come to Cody country and walk out a winner. I wanted to make your mom cry, your wife cry, and your dad a little less proud of you today, sons. When are you going to learn that at CSW, it's my show? I'm the man. I'm the boss. My word is the law.
The sheriff's in town. The sheriff's in town.
You may run CSW, but I own Northland, bud.
Wow, there's a lot of truth bombs being dropped right now.
You know I'm the trademark. And in Woodstock on August 28th, Cypher, you're going one-on-one with Cody James.
Wow.
You can't stop me.
You're suspended.
What?
Steve Ahrendt, the commissioner has been
What do you mean
suspended.
suspended?
The owner is
That means
back.
you don't come. The officiating tonight isn't going to happen in Woodstock because your match, I'm the special guest referee, son.
What?
Wow, the trademark says he will return to Northland
Okay, Nate.
to officiate the matchup when Cody James meets Cypher one-on-one.
I won't show up next month. I'll be suspended, but this isn't the last you heard of me, pal.
Let's go. August 28th, big man.
Arguably the biggest heavyweight showdown ever in Northland Pro Wrestling is about to break down. What will happen when Cypher does battle with Cody James inside of a Northland Pro Wrestling ring?
I think Cody James is a piece of garbage. The only way I would agree to come to this cesspool on a Saturday afternoon is to make Cody James' life miserable.
I am the law. What I say goes, and today, Cody James goes.
He is Hot Chocolate Acid Jaz.
Money more like
Money in the bank, shout it what you drink. Money in the bank, shout it what you drink. Money in the bank, shout it what you drink. Shout it what you drink. I got money in the bank.
hell you could come to Cody country and walk out a winner.
I'm the boss! My word is the law! My word is the law!
The sheriff's in town!
You may run CSW, but I own Northland, bud. You know I'm the trademark. And in Woodstock on August 28th, Cypher, you're going one-on-one with Cody James.
Wow!
You're suspended.
What?
The officiating tonight isn't going to happen in Woodstock because your match, I'm the special guest referee, son.